Joel Embiid, he won MVP. He cried. Remind me of the Toronto series, but he cried. Got the MVP. So happy for him. That was actually my preseason pick, by the way. But Tomo, talk to like your reaction to him winning MVP. Do you agree that he should have been MVP?
Well, I mean, you stole my headline with the crying for it, but I mean, did he deserve it? He played for it, but to me, I was sitting down. I was talking with someone yesterday, and I was like, man, I'm glad they finally gave Joel this actual MVP, so he can stop actually politicking for it. Because he
Mm-hmm.
did play for it, but he did a lot of politics behind it. Also, I understand why Kendrick Perkins ended up in the doghouse because that little moment in time didn't help either. Because it was just
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, Joker is balling. So I had to sit back and be like, well, if you're talking about most valuable player, if you remove Embiid from the 76ers, can they still win games? Yes. If you remove Joker from the Nuggets, can they still win games? Maybe. But it's
Mm.
not a solid yes. It's not a solid no. It's a maybe because Murray is there. So you might get something. And also, if you look at the progression in the players, this is why JMO, I wish you were JMO, we're gonna get you back on here to talk about this. But to me, Joker's game is improved every year.
Mm-hmm.
So he went from a guy who can run the floor, being a center. That was last year when he won it. Then the year before that, he won it. But if you think about this year, he averaged a triple double at the center position with a team full of pieces. He also made everybody around him play better because if you look at the team from last year, they kind of got the same players. They only added like KCP and maybe one other guy. But think of names like Bruce Brown. You make players around them better because every time Jamal Murray went down, they still continued to win games and they were the number one seed. So I say all that to say this. I'm glad you got a Joel Embiid. Yes, he deserved it because he got it. I named everything about Joker, but this is a makeup call. Everybody has makeup calls. He should have won it last year, so they made up for it because technically Joker was the better player of the two. And when they had the one-on-one matchups, Joel was one. He won the first game, but he went MIA the second game because he wanted to play another one. But that's neither here nor there. So 73 votes in first place. I think First Take had a lot to do with that. But hats off to you, man.
Yeah. So Embiid got better too. Embiid got so much better. He developed his game so much. Both of them got better. Now Giannis on the other hand, I'm just playing. No dig on the Giannis. It's never about Giannis. So look, Tom, I'm kind of with you a little bit. Like I give you an example. All right, we're talking about all-time greats. Steph and Magic Johnson right now. That was a discussion, right? Steph and Magic Johnson. Who the best point guard ever? Magic has been there. All right, he's been there. So for Steph to pass Magic, right, he would have to be like better than Magic. No ties, no nothing, because Magic's been there. All right. Now, when it comes to MVP race, it goes the opposite way. Every MVP you win, the harder they are on you to become MVP. The more you gotta convince us to become MVP. So I think that's what happened this year. Because also Joel Embiid, not saying he was on purpose, but he played his cards right. People don't really remember the first half of the season. They remember All-Star break and going for it, right? Y'all remember
Hmm.
Jokic and Nuggets. Jamal Murray got hurt, and Jokic and Nuggets they started sliding. While the Sixers went on there like an 8-game win streak, 9-game win streak, and then the only way Jokic was be able to pass him again, he got Joel Embiid on the schedule. Circle, man. All I gotta do is outplay Joel Embiid and beat him. They're gonna make me MVP again. What Joel Embiid do? You know what? Y'all ain't playing.
He had a show
Not
about that
playing.
too.
I don't know. That was on purpose. That was a chess move though. Like I'm not playing. I'm not giving you a chance. Then Giannis said, "Oh, what about me, y'all? Giannis are keeping the mix. Number one seed, best defense in the league. They play balls and lose by 40, so he out the race. So then Joel Embiid is kind of like fell in his lap because of what he did right after the All-Star break. That's how I feel how he got it. And people like Jokic, for you to win MVP, you gotta do something crazy, which he was averaging a triple double. But he and number one seed in the West. But Philly ended up passing him in the standings at one point, so that also hurt the Nuggets. So, but if Jokic would have got it, I would never been mad. Number one seed, basically averaged a triple double.
Hmm.
I mean, how can you get mad at that? Like, I can, how can you get mad at that? And then Jamal Murray didn't play the whole year. Once again, still number 1 seed. So, but I picked Joel Embiid before the season started. I'm happy he won, and I think it's deservedly so because Jokic didn't outdo Embiid like crazy outdo him. It was a close race, so of course they don't give it to Embiid.
Yeah, I think Giannis was my vote in the beginning of the season, but see how that went. Glad that it was my team. Glad it was my team that put him out.
I feel like you set him up.
maybe it's possible, but I think for most of the season, Jokic definitely was leading it by a large margin. A large margin. He was doing everything he needed. He was averaging triple double. First center in history to average a triple double. And this is no knock on Russell Westbrook, who did it for 4 out of 5 seasons, but he was never a top 3 seed when he did it. When he won the MVP, he was what, the 6th seed, 8th seed, something like that, and they were pretty much struggling, and they lost in the first round. Now I know the first round does not count, but most of the time you don't get the MVP award until after the first round. So, and Jokic pretty much played the way he was supposed to up until All-Star break. Once All-Star break came, that's when the Sixers pretty much went on a run. Not Giannis, but Joel Embiid had a 50-point game. You know, he was balling out in that. He was balling out, you know, both ends of the floor. And like Joe said, his game did develop. He has a really nice fadeaway, mid range now that he didn't do so often. 3-point shot is still good. One of the best free throw shooters in the game. Giannis, I keep saying Giannis. Joel Embiid, he deserved it. Every game counts. Every game counts. So when it mattered the most, when it came to having to push your team to the limit to get some more wins late in the season, Joel Embiid was more of a reason why they won than anyone else. And in some of those games you had Denver losing games when they shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, like Houston.
Exactly. They were losing games they shouldn't have lost to. Now, the Sixers lost maybe 1 or 2 games where it was like, you should have won that. But it was like continuous with the Nuggets, and it was like, all right, you're falling. You're not going to fall out of the first seed because you're in the West, and you were leading the West by like 10 games. So all right, we know you're still going to be the 1 seed, but are you going to be the number 1 overall seed? Because Giannis had already topped with you. Then the Celtics were above you. So you're not the number 1 overall seed. You're just the number 1 seed in the West. And right now it's looking like the East is more. I won't say more. Well, yeah, the East seems like it's the more dominant conference now. With the Celtics, the Bucks, and the 76ers, that's it right there. Then you got the Cavaliers coming up, even though they just lost against the Knicks in the first round.
Knicks.
So they might get better. Who knows? And then Miami is always trouble. Not saying that they're always going to be a top 5 seed, but they're always trouble because we just play hard. We just play hard no matter what. And then Jimmy Butler's there, so you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Of course, you're going to be upset because you're not in the playoffs. So,
hey, I'm a Knicks fan. Let's go.
I'm a Knicks fan.
Yeah, but you're not too confident after that game.
We will talk about that, okay?
Yeah, I know. But I definitely think that Joel Embiid deserved to win it. Now, like I said, Jokic, if he won it, that's cool. But I still think he deserved it. I think he deserved to win this award.
And we're also helping Embiid win at the end of the season, like you said. Jokic is losing these sorry teams, and then Embiid put a masterpiece against the Celtics. Yeah, LeBron didn't play, but if you look at the score, it says 76ers this, Celtics this, and Embiid this. Embiid got 50 in my thing, and every bucket he had was like Kobe-esque. So he put up a performance on national television, and at the end of the season, and people remember that, and that's what happened. So, I was like, okay,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
As soon as I said I'm a Knicks fan, your mic was like, "Stop the cap."
But that's blasphemy. All right. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.